Bada bing. Here we are. Whoa, I got to shut something off. Oops. Got a big screen going on in the background here. There we go. All right. Hope everybody is doing well. I know I just jumped on. It takes a little time to get here, so I'm going to make sure that we're where we need to be. It is Monday, the 11th. All right, looks like I am on in the Facebook page. Garrett, what's up? I'm first. There you are. Good to see you. And let me just make sure that we are, like I said, where we need to be. All right, I am in the group and also on YouTube. All right, so we're a couple places on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Hope everyone's doing well. Go ahead and share where you're at, who you are, what are you doing tonight? Rodney Pags, what's up? How's my foot? It is good. Getting better. Still a pain in the butt. You're welcome, Tyler. Thanks for being here. Just crushed a job, says Facebook user. Got home a little bit ago. Joel, what's up? Sean in Florida. Javier in Texas. What's going on? Good to see you all. All right. So it's probably the witching hour for many of you, meaning you're getting home. Significant others going, I need your help with the kids. So in some ways, this is probably the worst time for me to do this. So anyway, Garrett's eating cookies, hanging with the kids. Peter, what's up? Doing some bids in Maine. Julian, North Florida, painter. Good to see you. Dan, what's up on YouTube? Colin in Iowa. YS in Canada. That's Canada. I know how to say it. Tyler's 24. What else we got? Who did I miss? I think I got everybody up there. Tobias, what's going on in Northeast Minnesota? Still getting snow? Sure you are, man. Rob's having a beer. Dan's in North Carolina. Javier's firing up the grill. Good stuff. Good stuff. Somebody's in Wisconsin. Jason's in Illinois. Where are you at in Illinois there, Jason? Kelly Stone, what's up? Back at you. Hello. Facebook user is job costing. See, guys, you got to do that thing to grant StreamYard permission on Facebook if we're going to see your name. I know it's a pain. Sorry. Anyway, Granite City. There you go. Some hard-nosed folks down there. All right. I'm from Wheaton, Illinois, originally. Okay. So, I want to got Staten Island, New York on YouTube. Just trying to keep up with all this stuff. Now I got to pull up my notes. Where'd my notes go? See, I had all these things open on my computer. And now I got to find the notes out of all these stupid windows I have open here. Anyway. So, couple things I want to do. I want to kind of talk a little bit about a training that is coming up for y'all. I'm sorry, I'm moving windows around so that I can see what I need to be seeing here. Okay, there we go. Bobby Mason, what's up? Portland. Who else we got? All right, I think that was about it so far. As always, there'll be a bunch more people jumping on. And all right, guys, men and women of the trades, of the fight, appreciate y'all. So I'm going to drop a link here real quick in the box, in the chat box thing. I just put it in there. If you're not yet, sign up. This is a free training series that we're doing over the course of a few days. I think 3 or 4 videos that are going to come out, kind of give you guys some help when it comes to hiring, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit about that here tonight, but I'm going to talk about some things here tonight that I'm not going to talk about on the training. And I just want to set the tone here, guys, that there are selling a job right now in this economy for a high profit is easy. Okay. Producing it might not necessarily be easy because of the labor shortage. Now, this whole labor shortage stuff, my friends, has been going on for quite a long time, way before all this garbage going on in the economy and inflation and gas prices, and doesn't matter who's in or out of the office. Yes, Luke, this is live right now. So I want to just set the tone that you guys, I want to drill this home for you. If you are not absolutely crushing it with the money right now, you're in for a rude awakening when, not if, but when the economy takes a dump. Now, that could be 3 months, 6 months, it could be 2 years. I don't know, but it is always there's always cycles, okay? And this is the golden years of your contracting business right now. So if you haven't figured it out now, you better get off your ass and figure it out, because it ain't going to get any easier as the economy, does what it does. Now, I'm also of the mindset that I don't care what's happening with recessions and things like that, in the sense of I'm going to continue to work on my business. I always run lean in my business. I only like for overhead, we talk about carrying a light pack. That's when you hear me say carry a light pack, that means I don't have a lot of unnecessary overhead expenses. So like, I'll give you an example. We go through our, and I'm going to get to the hiring stuff here in a minute, but I just want to set the tone here for you guys. We'll go through a couple times a year. My bookkeeper and assistant, they'll go through all of our credit card statements and look for recurring charges of stupid shit that yours truly signed up for at 11 o'clock at night because I was bored and I was looking at marketing shit. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what that is. And I sign up and I realize now I'm getting charged like $20 a month for something or whatever. There's like 18 of those things. So, you got to put an eye on your overhead. We are very picky about the marketing money that we spend. That is overhead. I am very happy to spend money as long as it makes me money. A lot of people spend money in marketing. They don't track their lead sources and things like that. And then they end up wondering why they're not making any money. Levi, what's up? Good to see you. Daniel, Tyler, and Ashley, what is up with you? Galaze. Sorry if I'm screwing that up. Anyway, Merrick, what's up? I think that's you, right? Or Marak from Seattle. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep up and say hi to everybody, guys. And Chris, what's up, man? Good to see you. So back to carrying a light pack. The things on my overhead that I spend money on are things that I can point to and go, because of this thing or person or position or whatever, my life is better, my business is better, we're more profitable, I'm happier, and things like that. So for instance, like I just did a post in the Facebook group, I think it was last night, where I shared the story. I currently spend well over $100,000 a year of my personal income on my coaches. Okay. So I invest in that. And to me, even though that's a heavy overhead item in the pack, it makes me 10, 20 times that amount. Okay. So not at all something that is not useful to me. So for those of you, one of the things you can do right now to prepare going into a shitstorm in the economy is always run your business with a light pack. Only bring things that are necessary for the journey. Another thing I'd like to see you guys focusing on right now, because this is the golden years. And again, if you're not crushing it right now with your sales rates and things like that, you're fundamentally missing some things in your business that you need to get squared away. You need to get rid of your debt right now. Okay. You don't want to go into a shitty economic time with a bunch of debt. And you also want to build your war chest, meaning at least 3 months of business overhead expenses and home expenses. Okay. Start there. So anyway, so there's that. So prepare because something's coming. That's number one. Number two, this is, like I said, it's the golden years. And if you're selling right now, like a lot of people are, and they're, you are having a hard time with production, which most are. Most people are like selling way out. They can't take on any more work because they can't find people. So I want to close this loop here on this whole hiring shortage in the trades, guys, has been going on for as long as I can remember. It's not new to what's going on in the economy right now. Trust me. All right. So this is kind of old news for us for many reasons, but that doesn't matter. All right. What I want to drive into your heads and what we're going to talk about in this free training that I dropped the link for, that I'll drop again, I'll drop it several times throughout this year, through this live stream, is the real reasons that there's a shortage of manpower for you all is not a lot of the things that you think it is. It's not inflation. It's not the government handing money out to people. Okay. It's not any of the other things that, the supply chain or whatever. It's none of those things. Now, those things certainly impact things and impact the workforce, and we could go on and on. I'm not dismissing them completely, but guys, they are not the reason. Okay. And so, the number one reason, I'll give you a quick thing, and then I'm going to jump into some hiring ways for you to possibly find employees. The training I'm going to do, guys, is not the stuff I'm going to talk about tonight, but the number one reason really at the root of it is that you're playing the victim card and you're not serious about building your culture and hiring and being a better leader. That's why you can't find people. All right. And anyway, so April, what's up? Let's see, who else didn't I say hi to? Rob, I can't remember if I said hi to you. So hi. Quick Boys, Metro Floors team in Portland. What's up? Terry, good to see you. Michael, John with no H. Oh my God, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, except it's Smith. So anyway, all right. I am so old and dorky. Okay, so let me get back to this. Sarah, what's up? Good to see you here. So I want to talk some things here of things you can do, things you can be proactive about. Whoever just said, hey, Tom, we don't have your name because it says Facebook user. So, hey. Dan Bob, what's up? Yeah, Gina, what's up? Guys, Gina's my bookkeeper going on, what are we, 20 years now together? Gina is an absolute rock star. Like, I wake up, I think something, and then later that day, I get an email from her going, it's taken care of. She's amazing. And I don't know what her workload is right now, but if you don't have a bookkeeper, you need one, go to Greentree. What is it? GreentreeBK.com, Gina. That's your website. Works with contractors all over the country and is phenomenal at what she does. So yeah, it's 20 years this August that we've been together. And I mean this with all the love in my heart, guys. She like puts the screws to you, man. Like if you're not getting your shit to her, she lets you hear about it. Okay. And, you totally misspelled your website, Gina. It's like you put grennertreb.com or something. So you got to redo that if you're going to type it in there. Sorry. All right. So anyway, what can you do right now? Wet hands, greentreebk.com. There you go. She must be washing lettuce or something. It's dinner time by her. Anyway, I don't know why I said lettuce, but I did. So guys, if you are not proactively every day of the year doing two things. One is marketing for customers and two is marketing for team. You're going to be left in the dust. The number one thing that's holding you back. Yes, she's taking new clients. All right, perfect. Thanks, Caleb. Glad to have you here, man. Grub Mud, what is up? Moises, how are you? Mark Murphy, good to see you. Sorry, guys, I keep trying to go back. I get off track because I always want to say hi to people and acknowledge you guys, for giving us a few minutes of your time. So I appreciate it. the number one thing that's going to keep you from getting, like if you're stuck at $1 million now and man, I just can't get over that $1 million hump, it's production. Okay. It's very rarely is it sales. All right. If you're stuck at 200 grand a year, which I'll tell you what, if you're doing 200 grand a year as a one-man show, you're broke. You are broke because you're broke in your time and you ain't making the money you should make. All right. And I get it. There's a lot of people on here. So I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business and what success should mean to you. But guys, if your business is relying on your back and your physical skills and all that stuff, and you can't take a day off with still getting paid and stuff like that, you got to fix that. So you can still want to stay small, still want to work in the field and this and that, but you still have to build a team somewhat. Okay. Or else you're going to burn yourself out. You only have so many days on a ladder or in a ditch or whatever it is, with a paintbrush or a shovel or a frickin', carrying rocks and nailing siding and doing all the things you guys do. I'm telling you, especially you young guys, I'm 52. That shit catches up with you, man. All right. You got to be proactive about this. But nonetheless, John Loudon, what's up, man? Speaking of a long time buddy, good to see you here, bud. So let me get back on point. What I'm not going to cover in this free training that I'm going to be doing over the next week or so, that'll be coming out. So you got to hit the link that I just put in there, you guys, and sign up for it. And we'll drop some videos and stuff to you, totally free. Okay. If you are not proactive, you are really going to struggle ever turning the corner. You have to be proactive every day in recruiting mode. In fact, those of you that have a bigger team, I would dedicate somebody to being your czar of recruiting. Okay. Because guys, take a playbook out of like college football programs, right? Literally year round, they have recruiting coordinators and assistant recruiting coordinators that are going around the country, watching films, knocking on doors, going to high schools. They're always on the hunt for talent. And they make a big deal out of it when they sign that talent to their school, even if they're not a scholarship player, even if they're a walk-on. Okay. They're always recruiting. And so I encourage you guys to be proactive. So I'm going to give you a bunch of ideas here. And I've shared these at length in a few of our battleground coaching group calls. And I'm just going to give you guys a few of them here today. So hopefully you can run with one of these. I'm going to share one. I might elaborate on something for a little bit and I might move on. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them. I know there's a little delay, so I might not see things right away. So anyway, these were, what do I have? I don't know if I'll get through all of these tonight, but there's 27. Yeah, there's 27 ideas of where to look for people. And like I said, the training that I'm doing at that link that I put in there is not going to cover these things. These are just kind of tactical things you could do to be on the hunt. All right. Yeah, the geeker, there's a shortage because skilled labor pay is garbage. You know what? That's actually partially true, the geeker, whatever your name is. And the reason is there's a lot of contractors that are very scarcity minded. A lot of contractors aren't paying themselves enough. They're not charging enough. That's why the fight exists. That's why my mission is to reach over 1 million contractors and help them change their lives, and why we do so much free content and stuff, you guys. That's why I don't give a shit about the saw blades you use or the spray tips or any of that stuff. We don't talk about that in the fight. We talk about how to make money, how to get your head right, how to, get rid of that scarcity, bullshit money mindset that you grew up with, that I grew up with. So to a degree, you're right. And there's another reason that they don't pay enough. Is they're not giving enough ownership to tasks because they don't know how to lead people and help those people grow and develop. A lot of people, if they don't have a career path, you guys are going to bail on you, right? They're going to leave the trades. So anyway, back to these ideas. First one that I came up with was literally every day sharing your culture on social media. I just interviewed Steve Spinelli. He's a commercial painting contractor. He's going to be for our Contractor Fight podcast. We had an interview with him today. And guys, he's sold a ton of work. In fact, just last week, he sold a $60,000 commercial paint project at a high profit because of the way he shows his culture on social media there on LinkedIn. He knows his ideal clients are there on LinkedIn. facility managers and business owners and this and that need shit done on their buildings. And he, I hope this isn't a circular way to justify some rationale for open borders. Eric, I don't know where you would get that. You must be new to me. I don't leave my front door open at night. I'm going to vet anybody who knocks on my door and wants to come in. So anyway, enough said on that. So share your culture. Steve just sold a $60,000 job last week. Okay. And he'll do things like he'll take his camera and he'll be like, hey, he'll take a video of the job site that's ready for him, that the GC got ready and it's totally clean and ready and orderly. And he's like, man, I just want to give a shout out to ABC Construction. They're the general contractor on this project. You know, so many times we walk into a project and it's a total mess and we spend the whole first day cleaning up and getting ready to do the things we need to do. And I just wanted to thank the team over there at ABC General Contractors or whatever. Another thing that he did was a video on how they had to spray a bunch of door jams on a Saturday. And he was showing how they were prepping things and masking things and this and that. And then Steve, I didn't get into detail with him, but something went wrong when he personally sprayed all the door jams and painted them, and he screwed something up on them. I mean, there was some runs in them or whatever. And the next day, the Sunday, he went in, and again, he's doing video from this commercial job site, talking about his culture and their values and the way they do things. And he's like, I just wasn't happy with the way these things turned out. So I decided to come in here on a Sunday and make them right. And guys, I know a lot of you guys do that. A lot of you guys are doing some great things in your culture with your team, the way you take care of your employees, the fun that you guys are having, the lunches you have, whatever it might be, patting people on the back. Tony Isgrove, painter over in Australia, you know, he's got a huge operation over there. And I had the privilege of working with him for most of last year. And he does these things where he gifts his employees things, you know, like they have a dream, right? Like one guy wanted to build a fence on his new property. And so Tony did like a bonus thing and helped the guy and gifted him and surprised him, saying they were going to pay for the new fence on his property. Another guy, I think it was a kayak or something like that. Guys, these are things that get the attention of people. Okay. When you share your culture. Okay. Number 2 was spotlight employees. I kind of already talked about that. Number 3, on your website, you must have a careers page. All right. It should be optimized for search. So when somebody in your area goes, you know, landscaping jobs near me, your website careers page should be optimized for that stuff. Okay. Next one, number 4. 4 and 5. I'm going to put these together. Put on your own job fair. Okay. Put your own job fair on. You could do it virtually. You can have a virtual hiring event on Zoom. You can have, I didn't delete any comment, Grub. I don't know if you're talking to me or what. I can't delete a comment. I don't think. I don't even know how. Anyway. Unless if you were a knucklehead, then maybe my assistant did. I don't know. But whatever. I didn't see the comment, so I wouldn't know. Job fair. Okay. Here. Okay. Roz did. There you go. I didn't see it. So whatever. So here's the thing. A job fair, guys, works like this. You put word out on social media. You put word out to your client database. Hopefully you got a few thousand people on your email list. If you've been in business more than 2 or 3 years, you probably have 2, 3, 4,000 people that are on your company database, because that's gold sitting there for jobs and people. Put an announcement to your local chamber of commerce. You should join your chamber of commerce and stuff like that. You know, let people know, be your biggest fan. Hey, we're putting on a job fair. And the way I like to do it is sometimes say I'm a painting contractor. I'm going to grab my buddy who's a landscape contractor, my buddy who's a plumber, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. And there's and you split the cost of the marketing of it. You go ahead and have kind of tables set up, and you just invite people and you know, send the word out to high schools, to local trade schools, all these different things. Guys, you have got to be on the attack with this shit. Okay. So you put on a job fair. and make it a big deal. I know some guys that have gotten, they've pooled their money together with other companies and they've put an ad on the radio, where, younger people and guys that listen, the stations guys listen to on job sites or whatever it might be. Okay. Next door or certain Facebook pages and stuff like that. Guys, I'm telling you, one of the reasons you're not able to find people is you're hiring when you need people instead of when you don't need them. Okay. You should always be throwing lines in the water year round. Next thing, 6 and 7 here. Ideas 6 and 7 have to do with recruitment. Okay. Number 6 here is a recruitment video. Create a recruitment video that shows what it's like to work at your company. Okay. And I'm thinking of several websites of our members and stuff through the years that I could point you to, and friends of mine. But on that careers page, there should be a recruitment video. That recruitment video should be on YouTube and optimize. It should be on social media. It should be all over the place. And you should update it. Number 7, recruiting business cards for your employees. Print up business cards, guys, with a QR code that somebody scans and it takes them to your careers page. And, that QR code can be linked to a certain employee. And when that employee recruits somebody and they go scan the thing and fill out an app, give your guy $25 for somebody who just fills out an application. They'll be more likely to put cards out, right, to their friends and things like that. And then when you hire somebody, give a recruiting bonus to that employee. Okay. Your past employees are a huge resource. You've been in business for a while, you've probably burned through some people. If you're anything like me, I was a shitty leader for most of the early years of being in business, you guys, just to own my crap, right? I was not the best leader. And I had people leave me or I fired them where I probably should have been a better leader. I know I should have been a better leader. I probably could have held on to them. And so, guys, sometimes it just takes I've known a lot of people who picked the phone up and just said, hey, man, it's so-and-so. You got 5 minutes. And hey, Samuel, there's a thing called Google. Okay. Enter your town name and then the words Chamber of Commerce. Just do that. Be resourceful. It is a group of business owners that are helping grow your business. That's the purpose of it. Okay. Anyway, call them up and just go, hey, you know what? I've grown a lot over the past 6 months, over the past year. I'm kind of looking in the mirror and stuff. And I realized that I could have been a much better employer for you. And I just wanted to extend an invitation that if you ever want to come back, let's have a conversation. All right. Because I know personally, there's people that I can think of through the years that they didn't get my best. So let me know if that makes sense to you guys in the comments. Just like type the word, moron or something in the box. So I know what you're, that you hear it. I know there's a delay here. All right. So next one here. Your customer base. All right. Listen, thanks, Garrett. Moron. If I remember at the time, this is a long time ago, it was probably 2006-ish, 2005, 6, 7, somewhere in there. I had a customer database at the time of somewhere around 2,800, 3,000 contacts, meaning these were people that had hired us and had a great experience with us. Some of these people were people that didn't hire us, but they were still in our database because they had us come out and give them a bid or whatever it was. Guys, keep all that stuff. That is gold. Okay. Keep that info and communicate with people. You never know. Maybe they hired a different guy and it was the wrong contractor and they wish they would have hired you. And because you keep in touch, right? Well, when you send out an email, I think it should be at least weekly. And it's not a sales email every time. It add value. That's a whole nother conversation. But the email I sent out was, hey, if you're getting this, we've done some painting at your home or business. And we really appreciate your business. As you know, we try to do things differently at a higher level. We communicate well. Our people are clean, blah, 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 kind of spell those things out. We're looking for people that would be a great fit to our team. Okay. We're just looking for people. So if you know somebody, if you got, a kid who's out of work, if you have a friend, a spouse, a cousin, a nephew, a neighbor that you think has the character to fit in with our company and our culture, we would love you to pass, this link on to them and have them contact us and tell them you sent us. And guys, we did that. First time I did, I want to say I got 3 or 4 applications. Okay. And ended up hiring one guy who was a good fit. So that's an idea. Guys, high schools. All right. Build relationships with the career people, right? The career guidance counselors, whatever you call them. There's your vendors. Your vendors are a great resource for people. Why? Because your competitors' people go there and they're waiting for the truck to get loaded, or they're waiting for the paint to be mixed or whatever. And they talk and they bitch and they gripe and they have a hard time. And then your vendors, the guys that work there, the store managers and stuff, guys, they were constantly going, hey, I think you'd be a good fit for so-and-so's company. The last 3 times, and we would give them recruiting bonuses too. Targeted ads. Okay. I think this is a big one. I think you could be running ads on Indeed and all those things right now. I think you should really be running an ad year round on something like that. And other things, but be different in the way that you write the ad. So instead of going carpenter foreman wanted as the headline, I'll just throw that out there. Or, project manager needed. And then in there, it's like, must be able to lift 50 pounds, must be able to do this. It's all this, must that. Make it about them. So for instance, guys, I'm telling you right now, somebody just said a minute ago, G hustle, GEE hustle. I wish my ex-boss thought like you. Okay. That makes my point that I'm about to make right here. The majority of people that would be great employees from you, number one, are working for somebody else. They're not sitting at home. The winners, okay? The winners are not sitting at home. The winners are working, okay? So you don't want somebody who's unemployed. I'll tell you that right now. At least not for if they've been unemployed for like more than a week or 2, you probably don't want them. All right? So that's number one. Number 2, with the targeted ads, the majority of people that are working are not happy with the culture. They're not happy with the boss. They're disappointed. Promises have been made. They were going to get an iPad 2 years ago and they're still waiting. The boss promised a gas card. He promised this and blah, blah, blah. I could go on and on and on of the stories I hear and the mistakes I made as an employer many times through the years, where not because of any bad intention, but things slipped my mind. I forgot that I promised something, whatever. Okay. Or sometimes because of chaos. My point here, guys, is when you write a job ad that is targeted to somebody's pain, you're more likely to get better prospects for that, just like marketing for work. So for instance, I might run an ad that says, painting foreman dash, okay, painting foreman dash, is your boss still letting you down? It's poking the heart a little, okay? Painting or, carpenter foreman dash, how long are you going to put up with broken promises from your employer? Okay, so you guys get the point here. I'm spitballing off the top of my head. I'm not a copywriter. Okay, but anyway, next thing I want to talk about here. Next thing, job sites. This is not going up to another job site and poaching somebody. Don't walk onto somebody's job site and go, hey, you want to come work for me? I'll offer you another $1. That's stupid. All right. However, if I know a competitor is working on a project for a while on that street, I might go make some yard signs that say painters wanted, carpenters wanted, great culture, top pay, whatever, and a website to the careers page or a phone number, and put those bandit signs around that neighborhood. And they're more likely to see it. I actually knew a guy who every couple of weeks he'd put there was a service road that went down to all these industrial buildings, and his biggest competitor's shop was down there, and they had a shit ton of guys. And it was like a dead end street. So there was only one way in and one way out of the street. Hopefully you guys are tracking with me here. And and when you got to the main road, you could only turn left or right. You couldn't go straight. So if you turned right, you get down about a quarter mile and you'd see 6 or 8 of these bandit signs. And if you turn left, you'd see 6 or 8 of these bandit signs. And it was like this constant battle going on between these two companies. So it was kind of cool. So that's job sites and things like that. Truck and yard signs. Hey, we're hiring, blah, blah, blah. Instead of a sign in front of you're painting a house, instead of Bob's Painting, call blah, 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 Bob's Painting, now hiring, blah, and just there. Guys, what you focus on improves, right? Local home builder associations, build relationships there. Why? Because they have other people come to them. My son got hired with an HVAC company right out of high school. One of my sons, and the way he got connected there is he played baseball with the president of the Home Builders Association's son. Okay. And so he just went to her, and she says, yeah, kids are always coming in here and asking, hey, do you know anyone who's hiring? I want to get into the trades. I want to be an apprentice or an intern or whatever. Advertise your compensation and benefits. All right. Overpay and expect more. Okay. Number 19 here, position yourself as a forward-thinking company with technology, cool tools, amazing projects. My buddy Josh Abramson with Albright Painting out in Valencia, California. You guys check out his website and stuff, but you go to his Instagram page and this and that. They're painting roller coasters and things like that. They're doing all these crazy. He's got 70, 80 painters in the field. It's amazing. Great company. Offer apprenticeships, veterans groups. Women's and moms groups. Tell you right now, my friends, don't be so bullheaded that you're not opening up employment to women. Okay. I think there's huge value in that. And I know a lot of people, self-included, that have great success hiring women. Craigslist, reach out to subs and offer fill-in work if you need some people. Hey, I don't have anything full-time, but every now and then I'd like to just have a bench that I could call and ramp up and do a big job. We did that all the time with my painting business. One time we had to paint, I'm thinking of this one project, we had to paint like 150, 170 dorm rooms and all this stuff at a college. We got access at 5 p.m. on a Friday, and I think we had to be done at noon on Monday. And guys, it was crazy, the scope of work. And it's kind of like the rooms are so small. A lot of you guys know this, especially painters. Like painting a small room takes longer than a big room. Okay, it's crazy, but it does. It's like painting inside of an airplane bathroom, or Tommy Boy changing his clothes in there. It was a total mess. And it was a really tough job. And we had a deep bench of subs and relationships. And, we bid the job that way. We lined up the subs and we hit the deadline. It was great. Yeah, there you go, Daniel. Retirement communities. Okay, here's another one. And I think Gina, I don't know if she's still here, but I think she said this earlier about being flexible. Let me just scroll. But yeah, and hiring, be flexible with time. It will make a huge difference. Okay. So my next thing here, number 24, was offer flexible employment, part-time, compressed work days, whatever. So let me give you an example. I coached a company and crazy demand of what they were doing. They couldn't keep up. So basically they did 4 10-hour days, and they had crews working always 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days. Okay. And the way they did it is like, I think they had 3 crews. It was 5 years ago. So I don't remember all the details, but you'll get the point. All right. One crew started their work week on a Monday. Another crew, so they'd work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The next crew, I think, started on a Tuesday. So they had multiple jobs, 3 crews. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the third crew started their workday on a, I guess that's a Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So they were able to get 40-hour weeks for everybody. And the benefit that they marketed, you guys, was you get a 3-day weekend every week. Okay. You work 4 10s and you're off. They also, another company I'm thinking of, they offered part-time, and I know it's not always ideal for some things, guys. I get that. But, some guys want to go to college. They're going to the local school or community college. They want to get a degree in something and they need a job. They want to make some good money, and maybe they don't want to wait tables and be out late all night and this and that. And so be willing to be flexible, with schedules and things like that. I know this wasn't a field production position, but in one of the companies I owned, I'm thinking of somebody right now where it was a stay-at-home mom and it was a business development position, and her work day every day was 10 to 2 because that's when she was kidless, didn't have any kids around. She had a 4-hour window every day. She wanted to make some money, and so she would go out and do some prospecting, and she would email and make phone calls, and she was amazing and drove a lot of business our way, and we paid her a base plus whatever she generated. So it was a win-win. Number 25 here is 2 more. Number 25, you guys, love up on your current employees. Okay. Love up on your current employees. Don't take them for granted. In my experience, my current employees have always been the best source of recruiting other employees, because when you really care for them, you love up on them, you truly help them reach their goals in their life and all those things. They, especially guys, if they're your employee and you're keeping them, they're kick ass, right? So we all hang with people that are like us. Like you become who you hang with. So if you have a kick ass employee, chances are, the people that person is hanging out with are also kick ass, good charactered people. And so we had so many people through the years join our teams because of our current employees, the way they were treated and respected. One example I'll give you is at one point in our company, I want to say we had, at the time, 12 employees. Out of the 12, I think 10 of them had young kids at home, like little grade school age kids or younger. Okay. One of my crew leaders came to us one day and he said, hey, can we have a day here and there where we can start later in the day and not so early on the job site? And I was like, why? And they said, well, and it was like winter time in the Midwest, you guys, and so anyone that lives in the Midwest or East Coast or whatever, when it's winter time, like it's always cloudy. You never see the sun. It's dark when you wake up and go to work. It's dark when you come home, right? It's just depressing. So they wanted to have the ability. He's like, can we one day a week start later so I can have breakfast with my kids and walk them to the bus stop? I want you to think about that right now. For those of you that are able to do that, that's a pretty special time. Here I was the boss, and I got to walk my kids to the bus pretty much every morning. My guys were already out on the job site, and the bus might come at 7:40 or some crap like that, right? 7:30, 8 o'clock, sometimes earlier or whatever, depending on your school district. But just that one little thing, like I took for granted how special that was to be able to do that. And I also had the option, because I was the boss and it was my company, where if, one of my kids had a game, I could be at the game at 4 o'clock, right? I would just stop working and I'd go to the game. Or if I wanted to have lunch during the day, I like, hey, one of the kids is off and, your wife needs you to go pick a kid up and take him to the doctor because she's got to think. Like, there was so much flexibility. I want you to think about that, right? And, so I told my crew leader, I said, well, let me think about it. And at our next crew leader meeting, here's what we did, guys. This is just an example of loving up on your employees. We basically said to them, you're a crew leader, you have your team, and our teams were generally a crew leader and 2 to 3 other guys. in our painting company. We said, we trust you to run a job and we trust you to make these decisions. So you start and end and schedule your days and deal with your crews and all that other stuff any way you see fit, as long as projects get done and it's a great experience for the customer, we're hitting our budget numbers and everything's safe and we're not taking shortcuts and things like that. So what that meant was, if you have a guy on your crew, if I'm talking to the crew leader, say I'm the crew leader, if I have a guy in my crew and he says, hey dude, Thursday, my kid's got a game, it's a little farther away or whatever, I'd like to cut out a little bit early. They would work within the crew and figure those things out on their own and put it on the time card and all that other stuff, right? And so most of the crews, I'm trying to think, most of our crews ended up kicking back their start times almost every day of the week until 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And we were cool with it because it was on them to communicate with the customer. So they would call the customer prior to the job and go, hey, this is Tom with blah, blah, blah. I'm excited to be working on your project. I'm going to be your foreman, this and that. I wanted to let you know that, we typically start between 8 and 9 o'clock. Would an 8:45, 9 o'clock start time be okay for your project while we're there? And the customer 9 out of 10 times is totally cool with it. Very rarely were they not cool with it. You guys get what I'm saying there? Does that make sense? We treated them like adults. We treated them like grown men and women. And again, I go back to the example, if you got I'm picking a number. I always screw up the number, 300 million, 3 billion. I don't know how much a submarine costs in the Navy. All right. They're a lot of money. Guys, there's like 20, 25-year-olds driving these things under the oceans. And when I was in the Marine Corps, I was 20, 21 years old. I running a squad and calling in airstrikes and shit like that. Okay. Like, think about the responsibility that people get in other careers and stuff. And we won't let our people talk to the customer. We won't let them upsell work. We won't let them set their own schedule with the client as long as everyone's happy and it's a win-win. All right. These are the things where you need to be flexible and really love up on your people. So, and the last thing here I'm going to share is build your brand. Guys, you got to be visible. I cannot emphasize enough, all of you that have followed the fight for a while, you're probably sick and tired of hearing me say build your brand. But in so many cases, my friends, it is the cure-all. Okay. It makes sales easier. It makes recruiting easier. All right. Lead flow is better. I mean, I could go on and on. It builds trust. You sell at higher prices because people are familiar with your brand. And just if other guys, men and women in the trades, don't know what you do, don't know, or if they don't know that you exist, how can they be attracted to you? Okay. What we want to do is create the type of business that is a magnet, that people that are in your industry are drawn to your company. All right. And when you do these things, especially loving up on your current employees and you build your brand, like just those two things alone, if you do those, now this is the long game. It's not like you're going to do it in 2 days, you're going to hire somebody. But over time, when you're consistent with these things, because the time's going to pass anyway, so you might as well be fanatical about recruiting. Because like I said at the top of this thing, building your workforce is the number one thing that's going to hold back your revenue growth, because selling is easy. Marketing, sales, all that, especially now, this is the golden years. If you can't make money now, if you can't sell jobs at a 50% or better now, gross profit margin, then you got bigger problems, because it is easy right now. Chances are, if you're not crushing it in your sales game right now, you're a shitty communicator, your grammar sucks, you got bedhead when you're meeting people, you're not reliable, you're not honoring the commitments that you're making to yourself or others. You got a self-discipline problem, like you got deeper issues. All right. So anyway, those are some of my thoughts on tactical things that you could do to start being proactive about hiring. Again, I just put in the chat box, I just put the link. We have a short training series on hiring coming your way. It'll be a few videos that are popping out over the next few days, starting soon here, that I encourage you to jump on and get on that list so that we can send you those training videos. I'm not going to talk about all these tactical things here that I just talked about. I'm going to talk about some higher level stuff on that training to help you build a kick-ass culture, and so that you're not, stuck pointing to everything else but yourself for the reason why you can't grow a team. Because if you're anything like me, back in the day, you get pretty sick and tired of babysitting people. You get sick of getting excited when you hire somebody and then you're like, oh, I finally got my foreman or my project manager. And then what do? They bail in a few months because you're a shitty leader. Okay. So just like anything, the more you focus on it, the more it becomes a strength. So I got a few minutes here. Let me check my thingamabobber. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, I got a little more time. They're on their way home, but they're not here. We're going to have dinner here in a few minutes. So I got a few more minutes if you have any questions. So go ahead and fire them away. I know that I probably missed a bunch in there because I was trying to stay on track. But if you have them, post them again, and I'll hang around a few more minutes. Guys, go to that link. I'm probably going to post it another 8 times before we get off this thing because I think it's important for you to be there. Okay. Can't just run an ad once or do a social media post one time and go, we're hiring, and expect shit to happen, guys. It doesn't happen that way. Not if you want to be elite in your craft, in your industry. So I'll give it a second here. I know we got to, at what point is it time to make the jump from a one-man band to having an employee? Right now. Now is the time. My thing, Ricky, was I knew that if I was stuck, and I don't mean stuck in a bad way, but if I was stuck on a job site slinging a paintbrush or pulling the trigger on a sprayer personally, that down the road, I was going to run out of work, okay, for myself too. Because if I'm not out there selling and building relationships and marketing. So pretty much from day one, I worked in the field. I brought my cousin on as my first field employee, and I would work with him in the first few months. I'd probably work with him about a half a day, 3 to 4 hours a day. Then I would leave. And then I would go out and market my business, build my brand, shake hands, meet people, hand out business cards, knock doors, call people, just anything. And so, I grew to, I grew quite a bit in the first couple of years just because of that. Let's see, Tyler. Do you think an architect can run a contracting business? Yeah. My wingman in the fight, Neil Christensen, who built and sold a super profitable remodeling company back in, he sold it in 2012. I was one of his subcontractors. Him and his brother were partners, and his brother was an architect. And they were a great design build company. So I don't see why not. Jeff, who does your design work? So the original fight design, the logo and the branding and all that, was done by a guy named Jackson Price, who's no longer working independently. He took a gig with somebody else. So I can't even get him to do anything for me anymore. We have another guy that we've used for the past 4 or 5 years consistently, who can take this, and he keeps us on brand with everything you see designed, like our battleground logos and things like that. Unfortunately, that guy's actually kind of on his deathbed right now. It's a real bummer. He's a friend of the fight, and his health is really bad and it's declined. So yeah, it's tough, but they're out there, man. I don't know where you're located, but I know she can work wherever. My original designer 20 years ago was Anna Piro. I think she's married now, so I don't know her last name. She's outside of Chicago. Let's see. Jake, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. How much length on center should the joist be for a typical shed? I don't care. We don't talk about that in the fight. We don't talk any craft specific stuff here. It's about your business, sales, marketing, leadership. Every other group and coach in the world can handle that shit. Let's see. You're welcome, Jeff. You can also go to like 99 Designs and do a contest there, $300, $400, $500, and do that. Jake, how do you like the new Fight HQ? I love it, man. You did a shit ton of work down here, and looks great. Jake's awesome. Hopefully things are going good down for you in Arkansas, man. Let's see, what else? Craig, I'm having trouble with the motive as a carpet layer. Okay. Now, we have several hundred people in our programs, Craig, so if you're in Battleground and I don't know, I'm sorry, but I usually see this issue for people that haven't officially been trained. When they try to implement our sales process on their own, it's kind of like giving a brand new driver, or picture this, like your kid gets a permit, they're 15, they get a driving permit, and you give them a Lamborghini. Okay. They have zero idea how to drive. And that's what happens with motive a lot with people. Motive is the most important part of the pre-qualification. The Shinfu 5 steps are they're just the pre-qualification part of the sales process. So there's a lot of things, Craig, that lead up to that conversation for motive. But motive is emotion-based. It's either rooted in pain or pleasure. And again, that just comes from really learning how to ask great questions, peel things back, and be an active listener with empathy. Thank you, Handyman Nick. Christian, is your cousin still working for you? Oh God, no! We fired him like a couple years in. Good dude, but he didn't drive. I think he was a grown man, didn't have a driver's license. That got really tough because somebody always had to pick his ass up, and we had to move on. Let's see what else. Danny Boy TV. Efrain, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, leg's doing well. Just broken bone in the foot. I have a niche business that reglazes tubs. How do I find people? Similar to car painting, a lot of people with construction experience quit. You know what? I just did a whole thing here. I don't know if you were here for the whole thing, Danny Boy TV. But I gave like 20 something ideas of where you can find people. I think you could start with going, who's the ideal person? First of all, what are the ideal skill sets? If it's similar to car painting, then you got to make the case for why somebody who's got that experience would want to leave the safety, security of a paint shop, in a controlled environment and come work for you. There's a lot of things that have to do with your culture and all that. So I would rewind this and watch that. Giovanni, do you have a checklist for new contractor business to follow? Just got my contract. No, I don't have an official checklist. All I would say is it's build your brand. You got to sell. The work is like 5th on the list, you guys. All right. Like if there were a checklist, open a bank account, do whatever you got to do legally in your state or county, and then market the shit out of your business. And I know a lot of people that start a business, they don't have a lot of money to market and stuff. So that's where you got to go guerrilla warfare and grab our marketing boot camp. It's only like $500-$600. I don't even know how much it is. $597 or something. It's like 15 videos that I put together a year and a half ago, 2 years, on how to market your business when you don't have a bag of money to do it with. And it's how things in there I carry on every business I ever do. No, not as your, what's this? Do you have a check? Oh, I did miss that one. Jake. Yeah. So Jake's in our programs, you guys, full disclaimer here, whoever the carpet guy was, I forget who that was. I'm sorry. Emotion is like I'm embarrassed by my carpet, right? That's motive. Hey, Jake, just out of curiosity, what's driving you to want to replace the carpet right now? Oh, it smells like dog piss. Okay. Well, shit, Jake, this. Our upper hall, we used to have carpet, you guys, and we got rid of it last summer, I think it was, and put hardwood in because we have 4 dogs, and the Chihuahua, the attack Chihuahua Finn, decides that, he'll go out and then he'll come back in and he pisses or shits somewhere other than outside because he's an asshole. Okay. And we got sick of having the carpets clean and we're embarrassed by it. And so we did new hardwoods, right? Because we wanted that problem to go away. But the point is embarrassment, pride, those types of things are all part of the motive. Tony just used something from the Pain and Pleasure video. Awesome, buddy. Glad to hear that. Boxing Fan 1L, San Diego, 12 employees. Been a blessing watching videos. Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you. Broken foot, drink water. Oh, I am. So I'm still on 75 hard. And which is going great. Super fired up about it. And oh, hold on, just got a kid texting me here. Make sure we're good. All right. And I'm on day 48. And I had my gallon done by 11 a.m. today. And I had my workouts done and all that stuff. So yeah, I got to piss like every 7 minutes. I do custom cabinetry. What's your thoughts on just subbing out as needed per job as opposed to actually hiring full time? Listen, Mitchell, there's pros and cons, right, of subs and employees. And I think you can make the case for either. I think it's, what do you want your business model to be, right? You know, I know some people that don't like the burden of like the slower seasons and having to carry a team, but I don't know what your financial situation is. Like I knew a guy, he subbed everything out. He did about $500,000 a year. You know, probably 450 to 600 grand a year. He put 150,000, 175 into his own pocket every year. And he pretty much took winters off. He was a painter, by the way. Pretty much took the winters off, kind of just took whatever came in and he subbed everything out. His wife was a surgeon. So she made, 300 grand a year, whatever the hell she made. So he like didn't have to like bring in that much money. You know what I mean? And they basically just took his income for 15 years and threw it in investment accounts and retired at 43 years old with like 8 million in the bank. So, again, every situation is a little different, but anyway, Blanc 333, my work is all my marketing, just trying to keep up with demand. Can't find any worthy carpenters to join my team. Okay. Glad to hear that. You're welcome, Mason, Giovanni. Wells Electric, you said earlier, get out of debt. Now shit's going to go downhill. Shit always goes downhill. When you agree credit is a necessary. Yeah, I'm not saying don't have credit. I'm saying don't have it maxed out. When you go into a shitty, you should never have it maxed out. But when you go into a shitty economic time, like a recession, the last thing you want, number one, is to have a lot of debt. And number two, not have a line of credit. And I'm not talking of a high interest credit card. I'm talking a relationship with your bank. Okay. So for instance, let's fast forward to whenever a recession is going to hit us again. And I'm not like playing Mr. Fearmonger here. That's not my intention, but it always happens, right? It's a reality. When you go to the bank, when your revenue dries up, half your revenue or more goes away overnight because of fear in the marketplace, and you haven't been building your brand and all this other stuff and being aggressive and marketing the shit out of your business, okay? You're going to go, oh my God, I need a line of credit. I need money. And then you're going to go to the bank. Ask me how I know, by the way. This happened many, many years ago. And I couldn't get any. Doing millions of dollars in sales, couldn't get a line of credit for the business. Never had one, didn't need one until I needed one. And so a rule of thumb, Wells Electric, is, if you got a $50,000 line of credit or credit card for 20 grand on it or whatever, you don't want to have those maxed out. You want to have some credit available to help float you through some times if you really need it. So that's the point. All right. Good to hear that, George. Miles, I'm a general contractor, perform unfinished work, sub out tiles. Awesome. Okay. I have a drywall company in San Francisco. I'm offering paying service how to existing clients, but only get like 2 of 10 jobs. What can I do to get more? Join Battleground and learn sales training. I'm just being blunt. I'm my own biggest fan. So there you go. God, my face is so red. It's because I was out in the wind working out before this. So anyway, sorry, squirrel. And I don't know what your marketing plan looks like, Christian, either. You know what I mean? If you're just like licking your finger and putting it out to the wind and going, we paint, good luck. Maybe your existing clients don't trust you to paint their house. Drywallers, have a reputation for being slobs. And quite honestly, Christian, if you were mainly a drywall company and we paint, I wouldn't hire you to paint. 9 out of 10 drywall companies that offered paint, I wouldn't do it just because I have the curse of knowledge. I know too much about the trades. But to me, drywall guys, when I think of drywall guy, I think of the guys that run our new construction sites that would, grab our 5-gallon bucket of ceiling touch-up paint that was under the basement stairs. And we'd go back to a house a year later and they would have dropped a loaf in there on break to be funny, right? That's what I think of. And then I think of my buddy Bob, who's the best drywall guy I've ever met. He was clean. I would have Bob paint, but he's the only guy I've ever met in my life that was a drywaller that I would trust to paint anything because he was that clean. Do you think it's a good idea to go a little overkill for your customers? Always. Yeah, guys, I think, listen, when you charge enough, you can give more. All right. Sorry, I got a nose hair that's driving me crazy. When you charge enough, it's not just so you can take the money and run and give them a shitty experience. Okay. You should never charge more in the absence of value, right? They should feel like they're getting huge value. And I talk about this a lot, like so many contractors have a reputation for last day of the job, hurry up and get off this thing so I can get to the next job and get a deposit check and keep moving and have some money because I'm broke. All right. Well, if that's what you're doing, you're not charging enough. You want to see that job through the end. You want to love the one you're with right now. So I always want, even in our coaching programs, I want people to go, man, I got more than I thought I'd get. I mean, guys, every time I do a call in the fight in our battleground group, they're scheduled for an hour. I rarely ever stay an hour. I usually go over. I've been on here an hour and 7 minutes tonight, when in my mind, I'm like, I'll go 30, 40 minutes. Okay. And this is free. So I think when you're in the habit of just giving more, but don't give more when you haven't been paid either. Like if you're not selling your work at top dollar, if you're not the most expensive game in town with the best experience, you can't give more. And I don't think you meant this by the question, but a lot of us go, oh, the customer asked for a freebie on this and they asked for this and they're nickel and diming me. That's not giving more. All right. That's being a speed bump for them. That's not what we're talking about. Danny Boy, TV. What would you say is the biggest obstacle when projects with real money come in? I landed a resort project to reglaze 1,800 tubs and it's worth $500K. The biggest obstacles is scope creep, man. Biggest obstacle here, Danny, is you sell a $500,000 project. Number one, I hope you did it at least a 50% gross profit margin. That would mean you'd spend $250 to produce the work. And you'd have $250 for your overhead and profit. I don't know how long that's going to take you. But I would say the biggest mistake that I've seen people make and that I've made is when you get a big job that's a big chunk of money, we tend to take our foot off the gas pedal. We stop marketing, we stop selling, we think we've arrived. And that's when you step on the gas more with your sales. That's how you get over those next humps. So that was the first thing. God, I got this hair of my mustache that keeps like curling up. It's driving me crazy. All right. Like you guys care. Anthony, I'm going crazy between the painters union and running my own contractor business. What to do? Follow your heart. How do I help my friend who is also my boss and come out of this? Come out of his. I don't know what that means. Jeffrey, great. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Pedro, new at sales business for a contractor company in Chicago. Most of the work in roofs and solar panel sales. Any recommendations? I don't know what your company's sales process is supposed to look like, right? We have ours. I know a lot of roofing and solar companies are very different model, which usually doesn't go well with the way we teach sales. So again, I don't have enough information to recommend anything. Good luck. I think sales is a great profession. It's noble. And when you do it with integrity. Craig, got to get to Mile High in September. Damn right you do, guys. Go to thecontractorfight.com. You'll see all the info there for Mile High Profit Summit. I spilled one of those cans cleaning up. Gross. I'm building the same connections. I'm going to move quickly through these here, guys. I got a bunch of stuff I got to get to. Too many clients. I'm looking for question marks. So if you didn't use, I did shave, Tyler. I trim my nose hairs every morning. It's a mustache. It's my mustache hair. It curled up. It's tickling me. Anyway. Klotz, what's up, man? He's talking about touching clients. That's funny. At one point, I was touching too many clients a little rather than touching the right ones more. I know what you mean by that, buddy. Hope all's well, man. Facebook user, minding the gap is a struggle for us other than setting a calendar reminder. Do you have any other suggestions? Yeah, make it part of your system. Okay. We have a thing that we teach, and it's 20 steps to a successful job. Okay. And so it could be 18 steps. It could be 43. It could be 100. I don't care what it is. For us, we start with 20, and it's like, okay, the phone call comes in. Then what? Then what? Then what? Hey, we sold the job. Then what? What's going to happen between the time that we start the job or that we sold the job and we show up to do the job? There's that gap of time, right? Minding the gap, like you talked about. And, what are we going to do? How are we going to touch them? How are we going to educate them? How are we going to remove buyer's remorse? Who's responsible for it? Where are we going to track it? How are we going to keep it accountable? Guys, this is being a business owner, right? So yeah, you got to just map it out and train it and ensure that it happens. I don't know who I'm talking to because it just says Facebook user. Thanks for posting Mile High link, Roz. You're welcome, Wells. Would it be advantageous for a new business that doesn't have a bunch of profit to go to the Mile High Profit Summit? I think so. I mean, there were a lot of guys in the room last year. I mean, there was one I'm thinking of who, we might have him do something this year at Mile High because he's turned such a corner. There's one guy I'm thinking of that, he went out to dinner with the group, with one of the groups. I didn't go, but he went out with a group of guys and he ordered a salad and he said he wasn't hungry. And the truth was he didn't have any money for food. Okay. But he found a way to get there, and his life and his business and his family are radically different a few months later now. I interviewed Bill Walkenfuss this morning, a member of our Battleground group, guys. Last July, he had 37 cents to his name. Okay. And he found a way to get there and be part of Battleground and all the stuff that we're doing. And again, Garrett, you being there is not going to move the needle for you. You being there, learning something and implementing it is the difference maker. So if you're not going to implement, then don't go. And I tell that to anybody, like, the secret easy button, which there is none. But if I were to say, what's the one thing that makes somebody successful or not, it's a commitment to implement. So Kenneth, roughest job. Don't know what that means. I could take that 18 different ways. Facebook user, got piece priced question on quote. Don't know what that means. All right, last call. I got 3 more minutes and I got to go. These programs are life-changing. My income 5x'd in a few years. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, Mike, I'll never forget you selling a $4,000 something project while you were making soup with your daughter. That was pretty cool. when you shared that story. I think I got the details somewhat right. I have a great memory. It's just short. My mom used to say that. All right. I got 2.5 minutes. Okay. Mike says, yes, sir. So I guess I got my details right. Cool. All right, guys, I'm going to post this link one more time here. If you've not yet jumped in, I'm going to go, chicken soup. I'm going to go and do a couple training videos just on some higher level leadership stuff to help you be more attractive, help you hire and attract, hire, develop, and retain top talent. And we will see you guys there. All right. So I think we're good. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate you all being here. Looks like I missed one. Hold on. Randy, doing a lot of estimates, not getting calls back. You're not pre-qualifying properly, Randy. Seriously. If you're getting ghosted, you're not pre-qualifying. Mike says now when he makes soup, they're $40,000 jobs. George is financing dead. Not at all. Guys, I credit cards, finance companies, whatever it is, I think one of our jobs in sales is to make it easy for people to buy from us, right? So how do you want to pay me? We can work it out. So there's plenty of resources out there. There's Hearth and a bunch of other financing companies for contractors and this and that. So I would explore those things. All right. So I think we're good here. There's that link. And with that, my time is up. I appreciate y'all. Thanks so much for giving me so much of your time tonight. And I will talk to you all soon next time we do this. You guys rock. I got to roll. I'm out.